it was going, it does, oh, you're right, you told me that. It has to go to the subhousing landfill because of the dead animals and stuff.
I would think so, yeah, it's the dead animals.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am, and I can answer that, and,
oh, wait just a minute, excuse me.
And Kroger has been out,
Rupert.
they're pulling the permits, they all permitted, one will take neutral, the other can take vegetated and does, so it'll be using both way sites.
Okay, can we pause?
Yeah, the pine, whatever it's called, Rupert, that's the one that can take the dead animals.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Hey, hold on just a
Wait,
second. Hey, can y'all wait just one
Can we
quick
pause so
second?
we can call the meeting to order so this discussion can be in the public forum?
Okay, so are we now?
We're now online. We need to call the meeting to order so then y'all can then discuss it.
Yes, sir. Everyone would try to, not talk at the same time, please, because we will talk over each other and won't be able to hear. So at this time, please mute your phones until you have something to say, and, we will come out of recess and call this meeting to order to call this meeting to order, and we'll take a roll call to make sure that everyone is there. First roll call is District 1, District 2, here, District 3,
Here,
District 4,
here,
District 5 is here. Okay, with that, we have an order of business to proceed, on the Sand Beach with Crowder, and we'll, explain that, let Tim explain the contractor and how that is chosen, okay?
Okay, first off,
Is that all right with the board? Go ahead.
yes, go ahead.
and first for the record, we have a quorum and we're doing this by telephone. The board is under an order of emergency as a result of Tropical Storm Cristobal and because of COVID-19, so this meeting was recessed and we're reconvening it. And we have it public access through the internet and the board on the phone. And just so the other board members know, there's a standing contract that was bid, for debris cleanup in the event of disaster. And the board declared a disaster yesterday, or actually effective, I think June 5th was the day that the resolution was. So, we are under disaster, and as I understand, the board wants to, get the contractor to proceed with the cleanup of the beach primarily. That was a bid contract.
That is correct.
Yeah, and that's done every year, if I'm not mistaken, isn't it?
That's correct. That's correct.
And so that's so that we'll be ready and be able to mobilize immediately after, any type of disaster.
That's correct.
Thank you. So with that said, we have a motion to proceed, with Crowder Golf on the Sand Beach, as of tomorrow.
Yeah, it's Beverly. Sorry, I was late. I'll make the motion.
Okay, we have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion, Tim?
The only thing I would, does the board want to specify areas that the contractors to start in so that they have some direction? I believe there was some discussion about that yesterday.
Yeah, the high traffic areas, and they can go by where the beach vendors are. That's pretty much all your high traffic areas.
Okay.
And that restaurant row area, but there again, you got beach vendors there, so.
So we'll
Do you want that,
give
do
the
you want that to
contractor.
be in the, do you want, I'm sorry, do you want that to be in the, motion to proceed, or would you like that as a separate motion?
I think I do it in the motion to proceed, because with concentrating on the high traffic areas, which are generally, I would give the Sand Beach director the authority to direct them to those areas.
Did we get that?
Yeah,
Yes.
we're kind of, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but let's put it, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
One at a time, please, yes, thank you. So we will, have a motion to proceed making sure that the, high traffic areas are the first to be addressed in the cleanup.
Can we make that part of the contract, and can we put a deadline on when they need to be finished?
The contract is already in place, so you won't be able to change the contract, but you can put it as part of the board's order that the contractor is directed to proceed in those areas that are high traffic areas as instructed by the sand beach director is what I would do, and then what was the other question?
With an expected completion date on or before July 1st.
Okay,
In those areas, right, Supervisor Martin?
No, I think they can do the whole beach. Oh, where Joe was going.
Okay.
Hey,
This can I agree with them.
One at a time.
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah, I just concur with that. I think it's important to get those areas first, because the reservation and the hotel, I think it'll give them a confidence level when their customers, potential customers call in next week, so they can say, yeah, our part of the beach is, clean. Because we did say, once it's clean, that they can open. It won't be one 26-mile stretch open at one time, it go in sections, but once that section gets clean, and that part of the beach will be open that way.
I agree.
I agree. All right.
Okay, then what about the monitor's contract? Do y'all wanna do something with Volker to monitor the cleanup?
I think we need to vote on this first.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought we.
So, all those in favor of the Crowder Gulf, cleanup and proceed tomorrow, staging tomorrow and starting on Friday, with the cleanup, areas, low traffic areas for tourism, all in favor, signify by saying, we have a motion, and we have a second, and all that. Aye. All opposed, motion carries. All right. Now we want to talk about Volker as a monitor. We've always had monitors,
Madam President?
Yes, sir.
I think Tim and Luca can address this. I believe that's required to receive any FEMA reimbursements. Am I not right that we have to have the monitor, or is that part of the requirement for any reimbursements?
I think it is.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yes, sir. What they will do, and we will be doing this electronically, as the loads are picked up on the beach, Volker will monitor that. They'll be given an electronic ticket, and then that will be confirmed at the waste management site before they go over the tipping scales.
That's what I thought. So, do we need a motion to contract with Volker? Yes, I'm sorry.
Order.
Dr. Ladner, I left before y'all, we were going so fast. I believe y'all, and correct me, Tim, Tim was supposed to review the contract, and then the board president would be able to approve. But, I think with that, but I would still ask probably for a motion, that is, if we have to do a motion to
proceed with them.
Yes, sir.
Proceed with them. So moved.
Second.
Hold on one second. That's what I was going to say. We already have it it has to be done, and, the other question that we'll have is where they'll be, taking the debris. But anyway, we have a motion,
Hey,
and we have.
yeah. Can I ask something?
Wait just a minute, let's get a motion in a second, and just.
Already got it. You got it. Let's go.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Deborah.
Okay, thanks. Where were they, Rupert told me yesterday that they pile it up somewhere and let it kind of dry. Is that something that's required, or can we just go ahead and start hauling it off? I'm just concerned.
Well, I might suggest something to you in reference to letting it dry. I suspect, if you let it dry, it's gonna cost less to dispose of it. That debris is charged by tonnage. And that debris, if it's wet, you're gonna have a heavier tonnage. I don't know if it makes that much difference, but I assume that's, Rupert could address that as well. I don't know. I think
Rupert
that's
told
why
me.
they want it to dry. I could be wrong.
Rupert said it was by the cubic yard. Is he on it?
Is it by the cubic yard or tonnage?
It will be by the cubic yard, but your wet sand is going to take up extra space in that truck, which, talking with Volker, and talking with Crowder, they're going to start moving it up to the seawall or to that pickup point, and by Friday, they'll start to, they can start that tomorrow, and by Friday, Saturday, they'll start to move it to the dump. So we'll actually have multiple pickup piles, and it will be drying out.
Yeah, I don't think we need to make a mountain out of a molehill. It's just, but if it's started by cubic yards, so be it, you know.
Well, I'm just concerned that, they'll have all these huge mountains of debris up and down the beach. But Rupert, you're saying they'll move them as they pile them up?
The intent is, and they may be able to start tomorrow, I know some equipment is being pre-staged today. They will actually start to clear the water's edge, and that's what we've got to do to get that stuff that's still floating. They're gonna move it up to the edge to where the, claw trucks can pick it up, but they will go work one section, or they'll have multiple sections that they're working, move it up to the edge, and then they'll go down and get more, so it'll drying process. Like they really did want to try to let as much sand drop so that we're all protected, that we're not discussed, in future disasters with trying to tip the scales, should I say, or have extra tonnage, cubic yards in the back of the trucks. It is a typical practice to try to let it dry, a little bit to get that extra sand weight off of there.
And if I may, we've done this before. They'll take a certain amount of time just to get it all in one place, and then it'll be an easier drive through from point A to point B to pick it all up in one area. So while it's in that area, it'll be drying out, and then they'll have a second road because they can't haul it. Otherwise, we'll have too many trucks going up and down and up and down. You have one. You have consistency.
Keep in mind, Tony, that it's different machinery. To pick it up, one machine picks it up, moves it to a pile, and the other machine is designed differently and loads it into the truck. So I suspect that's why they have to do it that way as well.
Yes, that's it. So,
And then, but the other thing, is that when y'all did this before, after Katrina, there were no tourists. I mean, the whole county was shut down. This time, to me, it's a little different because we're trying to salvage what's left of our tourism.
I understand that, and I appreciate it, and it's just the equipment and the process has to be done a certain way, and I think they'll do it, especially if they clean those high tourist areas first, and I've been all over to look at them after Katrina before, and I'm sure they've even improved upon them over the past 15 years, even more, so.
Connie, may I ask you a question? Did we vote on the cloud contract?
Yes.
Yeah.
We've already voted on that, and I'm gonna sign off. Do we have any other business?
I believe that is all that we have, I think that's all, yeah, we're gonna vote on the contract, the debris, we were going to see, if they were going to have, and they are gonna have to carry that to a subtology landfill, correct?
Yes, ma'am, and I have to ask a question, y'all did the notice to proceed on Volker in case they have to do that.
That's already been taken care of.
Okay, so we're all, ready to go, I'm sure that we talked to our department heads, Chuck and and see how it goes, and if there's any adjustments that can be made along the way by our department head, Chuck, our director of Sand Beach.
Hey, I got one question. I got one last question, if I could, please, real quick, it won't take but a minute.
Yes, sir, Ken.
My question is this: if we're running in a bind, I know we're trying to get the tours up and running, I know it's very, very important to the hotel because of COVID-19. If we're running behind, can we get our crew to go in and help? It looks like we can't get everything up and running by July 4th.
Yes, we discussed that yesterday.
I'm talking all hands on deck if we need to.
Yes,
Yeah,
we
that's what I'm-
discussed that yesterday in the meeting with Chuck, and he said they'll get the majority of the material that is just too much for them, and then they will come by behind them and dress it up. That's what he said. So they'll be working in conjunction together, is the way I understood it in our meeting yesterday.
But I think what Kent and I were talking about was, if we get, in a bind and need that stuff hauled off, can we get our road department to maybe pick some of it up and take it to the dump?
Hey, can I jump in on that?
You have to tell them, man, we're not gonna get reimbursed for that if we do it.
Anything that if we haul, I mean, Crowder will, they're taking, as Chuck piles things up also, they will take that and put that into, to the load sites, but we can ask, and Volker will do, and they've done it before, any of our trucks would have to be certified, following those guidelines, and if we get into a push, I know Chuck and Crowder would, could do that.
I would say one thing though, gentlemen and ladies, if you have a contract and you are a contractor, something goes wrong or whatever, and you have, if it's not a private part, probably Tim would have to address this. Contractors, they wanna do the job, that's their job, and they wanna do it, and I'd ask him to check on that as far as the legalities, responsibilities, and that sort of thing, because once a contractor takes that job, he almost is in charge of that property, period. Kim, Mayor? Hello?
Connie, I would agree to that, but again, they will be as accommodating, to the county, I believe. And realistically, I honestly think that we're going to have, as much of their equipment over here in many sites, and they're gonna be very, very, fast on this for us.
Yeah. Let's get started, and then we'll work out the kinks as it goes. Okay, all those are, everybody still on the phone call, we're gonna reset? Yes. Okay.
Motion to reset.
Second. We have a motion to recess and second, and all those in favor, signify by saying aye, all opposed. Motion carries, thank you, ladies.